Halloween. It's only 1 week away, dude.
Dude, I'm actually super excited. Halloween's like literally my favorite holiday.
Halloween is great. Halloween is really good.
Absolutely amazing. Dude, hold on. What's your like top tier Halloween movies?
Top tier Halloween movies?
Yeah, like your tier list.
Um, I think I don't know. I can't think of what like one movie I really like because like you got Ghostbusters. It's great.
Okay. Alright, not a
Um,
bad one.
there's some other really good ones. I
So
recently
like
just
we're
watched.
focusing on just like spooky, scary, like random um like movies, right? It's not like a traditional Halloween. Like Hocus Pocus is like a Halloween movie.
Hocus Pocus is a Halloween movie. Yeah, Hocus Pocus.
But like, are we talking about like any scary movie type of thing
I
too?
think scary movies should be included. I just don't really watch
Okay.
very many of them. Let me actually pull up because I'm thinking I can get into a tier list and we can actually like rank these things,
Ooh,
which
baby, I'm
which I think would be
excited
pretty
now.
good.
I'm excited now
Okay.
because
Um,
I love movies and spooky things. So
movies and
put them
spooky
together.
things are good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why like Halloween's a great thing. Let
It's
me.
epic, dude. It's
Okay, I
absolutely epic.
think I have this all set up. Okay.
Oh, good transition. Oh, dude.
So, Uh, we got this tier list. We got S, A, B, C, D, and F, right? So the first one that's down
Okay,
here is Ghostbusters, which
the
I
original.
personally, it's the OG. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that is S tier.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It's you can't go wrong with
You
Ghostbusters.
can't like it is top tier. It is amazing. Great
Yeah,
movie.
no, it's super good. Also Bill Murray,
Oh, Bill
he's
Murray.
funny. He's great. Who doesn't love him? Also, you can't go wrong with just whole origin stories. The original, the OG
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters.
Well, you can go wrong a little bit. We'll get into that I think later because like I see Halloween Town on this. And actually, here, let me just do this right now. Halloween Town, right? Have you seen it?
No, is it
So,
a Disney movie?
yeah, it's a DCOM, uh, which stands for Disney Channel Original Movie.
Okay,
Uh, it's it's not good, dude. It's
it's not
bad.
good.
No,
Dude,
so
throw that shit in. Throw
it
that
is.
garbage in F.
I want to put it in
We'll
D, and the only reason I want to put it in D is because for nostalgia, right? It is
yeah.
held together barely. Like there's a tiniest bit that like string, like this tiny little string that holds it a little bit together, and that's because there's
Yeah.
nostalgia there. Where I used to watch that when I
Okay.
was young. I know Keely used to as well. We
No, that
rewatched
makes
it
sense.
last year. It is so bad. None of the graphics are good. The
Dude, it's
acting
a
is
Disney
terrible.
movie.
Yeah,
Like,
but like, it's just not good because it's
dude, think of like Wizard. What was it?
Wizards of
Wizards
Waverly
Waverly Place.
Place. I
Yeah,
liked
think
that
I
show,
loved
but
that
it's
as a kid.
bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you love it as a kid, and then you're just like, as an
I
adult,
think the
you're just like,
later seasons get better, and that's kind of what it is with Halloween Town, right? Halloween Town
yeah,
is bad. I'm gonna put
yeah.
Halloween Town 2 also in D tier. It's just cause it's I don't think it's good. I don't.
It's pooky dookie trash, dude.
Yeah, and that's just because of the fact that there's some nostalgia there. It's not
Yeah, I
like
mean, you're not wrong.
I just recently watched Scary Movie 5. That movie is just bad. Dude,
Yeah,
it's so bad. And I liked the first couple. I don't know how many, but I really liked the first one. I thought the first one was a good play on like sure there were certain things that were a little bit problematic about it in today's atmosphere, but in
yeah,
general, I think the play on all those like all the scary movies, it was very good. And it kind of felt like it had its own story. Scary Movie
yeah. No,
5
they were fun.
Scary Movie
That
5 is just butts, dude.
Yeah, it's dookie trash.
Cause
But no, dude, the first and second scary movie and
Mhm.
they still have charm to it.
Yeah.
Like they still got like this goofy little charm that you're just like, oh, like it's like once a year you kind of just get the mood to watch Scary Movie, especially Scary Movie 2, which I thought was the funniest one because of just how like outlandish and just like how like kind of crude the humor was.
and and that's okay. It's the Scary Movie 5 where it's like I was watching it and I'm like there were moments that made me smile. There were moments that I was like kind of chuckling too. But
Yeah,
overall, it's always sandwiched
yeah,
between it's not even a shit sandwich. It's like an inverse of a shit sandwich where it's just
yeah.
each piece of bread is just a thing of shit. And then you have a piece of lettuce in the middle where you're like, "Oh, that's kind of nice."
You're like,
But it's just shit. And because it's slapstick comedy, but it's not
yeah,
even good slapstick. It's just in
no,
it. Like at one point, this girl, she's this woman, the Ashley Tisdale. She's like the main lead, and
yeah.
she has this baby, and then like lifts it up at one point,
It's
and then
so
its
stupid.
head gets set on fire, and I was like, what the like at first I'm like, I thought that'd be kind of funny, a slight bit because it's like, oh yeah, she can't take care of this thing, but her reaction is so over the top and she's freaking out
You're just
about it.
like, ah! And she's
It
just like freaking around, and it normally causes more damage to the child.
cause like if you think about it, and I think this is part of the issue is that there's an amount of overreaction where it's like
Yeah,
it's so over the top that it's almost like an underreaction because it's not how you would actually react.
yeah. No, I totally understand that.
Cause like you're holding a baby if its head is on fire, yeah, you're gonna freak out a lot, but you're not gonna sit there and just hold it screaming at it. Like
Yeah,
what the I don't know. And then the dude, this is the worst part about it, is that you're sitting there and you're like, it could be a little bit funny, and then she's freaking
yeah.
out. He goes over, grabs a fire extinguisher, starts spraying it. And I'm like, okay, cool, like that makes sense to me. And then their like other daughter comes up, and he
Mhm.
turns the thing, and it blasts her like 50 feet in the air backwards. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Just why? Like that didn't
It's
need to be
stupid.
added in. It's dumb. And then they had other people like Snoop Dogg was in it. They had
Yeah,
Mac Miller in
classic.
it. And I was
Yeah,
like,
and they were the first people you see too, because they're running like from the military or something.
no, they weren't running from the military. They were running from
They were
uh
running from something. I
so
remember
the
that.
whole thing is they're in that they're going through this creepy forest to try to get
Oh, okay.
to some pot plants, right? And then they like snip. They're just gonna Snoop Dogg's like, oh, we're just gonna roll up a joint. We're gonna snip some of the buds off. We're not gonna take a whole plant. It'll be okay. And then like this is the part where I'm like, it's kind of humorous, but
Yeah.
they overstep it because at one point they're like, why are two stoners even walking through this forest alone? And I'm sitting there like, dude, don't do that.
Oh,
Don't
like
bring
fourth wall
attention to
break
it.
kind of thing.
Yeah, like you're self-aware, but you're not self-aware enough to actually make a decent joke.
Yeah.
Because like
It's
just
so
highlighting the fact
confusing.
that it's out of character, it's not good. Because he could have just said, "What are we doing out here? Just walking."
Yeah.
And then Snoop Dogg could have said like, "Oh man, I know where there's some pot plants. We're just gonna pick some up." Like that could have been fine. But to just
Yeah.
sit there and be like, no stoner is gonna be walking with their friends, being like, "Yo,
Yo,
why is a couple
why
of
are we out here?
stoners?" Yeah, like that's just some
What?
dumb shit.
It's just like that it's just like it'd be like a viewer scene. I was like, why is there just a bunch of stoners
Exactly.
walking through the the spooky forest? It's stupid. Why we would just walk away, leave, just
Yeah.
leave.
And then they
Then
end up what was humorous was that then they end up running away from all the people because of the fact that they're
Mhm.
carrying this like 7 foot long joint. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. Yeah.
no, that when they do stuff like that where it's just outlandish,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, but like it's not just like some fourth wall break
Yeah.
nonsense or just some stupid joke. It's just like, okay, one joint and they're potheads, so they just made one giant movie.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
weren't lying.
That's it's funny because that's where I was like I was smiling at it because I'm like, yeah, that's pretty funny. Then they go
No,
into this creepy house in the woods, and then
yeah,
he's like, "Yo, man, like this reminds me of a horror movie, that one with the house in the woods or cabin in the woods."
a
And
cabin in the
Snoop is
woods.
like, "Well, that's the joke, right?" And Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg is like, oh, what is it called? He just starts listing off tons of different ones, right? And then Mac
Oh, like
Miller's
Evil
like,
Dead. He was just naming
yeah,
movies.
and Mac Miller's like, nah, man, the one with the cabin in the woods. And then
Yeah.
he's like,
Okay.
oh, like the Blair Witch Project. He's like, no, man, the one with the cabin in the woods. And I was
And they're
like,
making a joke about the movie Cabin in the Woods.
exactly. And I get it, and it made me kind of smile a tiny bit, but I felt like the bit went on too long.
Way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get you.
And then they get into, and I understand we got on this tangent of me just ripping into Scary Movie 5, but it's just a terrible, terrible fucking movie.
It
And
is. Dude, Scary Movie 2, Scary Movie 1,
oh,
maybe
great,
3 if you're pushing it.
they were
But
good.
like after 2 it started where you just started seeing like, oh, now
Yeah,
they're just kind of giving up and they're just repeating the same jokes.
I
Just
think part of it is that they want big names, right? So they're getting as many famous people as they can to get in on
yeah.
it to try to attract people to go see it. Like Lindsay Lohan was in the beginning of it with Charlie Sheen, and I'm like,
Oh yeah. And you're just like, why? This is stupid.
and I think it's because there's a comedic effect to subtlety, right?
Yeah.
And Scary Movie has always been kind of in your face, and they just amped it up so much. There was a funny
Yeah.
part when they went into the cabin with the woods, right? And Mac
Yeah.
Miller, there's like this creepy like girl thing that just goes running, and then he pulls out guns and starts shooting it.
Start shooting at it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny. He's like,
See,
fucking,
so the thing is with like Scary Movie, because you know it's just like, yo, we're just making a stupid movie, and having
oh
like
yeah,
that, like people just play themselves, like Snoop Dogg, and you got Lindsay Lohan, just like, yo, I'm Lindsay Lohan. When you have it in like a Scary Movie setting, it's just like, okay, that's okay. Like I don't really care. But, like, dude, Game of Thrones did that with Ed Sheeran, and he just played a singer of the, like, he played a knight that was part of the group that these people found, and he was a singer. So it's just like you're kind of just
the
putting Ed Sheeran in as a knight. Like he's a singer. They didn't change anything about him.
I
It makes it
don't
work.
want to like even get into it. Like that was a very frustrating moment for me for Game of Thrones because of the fact that it wasn't that big of a scene. He wasn't even that
Yeah,
big of a character, but there was
the
still
scene was.
this thing where you see him and you know who
Yeah,
he is.
yeah,
Like
and you're just like, oh, that's Ed Sheeran.
and
He's just here.
he can't like unless they're extremely good at acting and you have enough screen time, you're not going to be
Yeah,
able to get away from that. Because you're going to
yeah,
see him for a moment, you're just going to think, oh, it's Ed Sheeran. Where if they
yeah.
had maybe done more makeup on him or had him show up as a bigger character, there's a potential that it could have been more accepted.
See, I think if you just had Ed Sheeran's song in there, I think it would have been fine as he doing it. But like, I don't know,
You
just
mean
having
him
Ed Sheeran
showing
there,
up
just
just
like,
randomly like, oh my god, it's Ed Sheeran. He's
yeah,
playing
and
his
like the
hit
whole,
song.
yeah,
Like
no,
what?
no, no,
No,
no.
that would.
It's more like he makes a song for Game of Thrones that's like, it just like in that moment they use the song, but
Okay.
instead they just had Ed Sheeran sing in front of everyone. It's just like
Oh, I
Ed
see what
Sheeran
you
already
mean.
does
Yeah.
that. He
Yeah.
already does that in real life. Why do we need him to do it in this fantasy show?
Yeah, I don't. It's another gripe that I have with like Marvel movies now, where I feel like they're
Oh my god,
starting to get
yeah.
to the point where they're just trying to pull as many famous people as they can, and
Yeah, and
like
it kind of just feels like it's turning into a scary movie type of thing.
exactly like the
Like,
Immortals, such a bad Marvel movie, and they could have done something
I
so
never
much
watched
better
it.
with it.
I never got into it, but like, dude, I know this is like, like hot stuff right now, but like, She-Hulk, it's just like Megan Thee Stallion. Why?
I've never
She's
seen
canon.
She-Hulk.
I had never watched it either, but there's a scene where they're both twerking together. She-Hulk
I
and
know about the
Megan Thee Stallion.
scene. I heard about the
Yeah,
scene.
like
Yeah.
I ain't got no problem with She-Hulk. Go do whatever you want, but like, why are we just bringing in like random people into Marvel now?
It's because
It's
they're
like, dude,
trying to get that whole thing. I don't know. I don't know. Let's get back into the Halloween
the tier
movies.
list.
Yeah. So we got
Okay,
Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters
2.
2. I'm gonna put that in B because most of the time
B,
I would put that in B just because nothing compares to the original, and everyone
but
tries like. Good things
Ghostbusters
need to
2
come.
had the goop, dude. Right?
The
The
Slimer.
slime that was like the pink slime. Because that was the one with the painting. Where that one dude was gonna come through the painting or whatever, and then there's like a baby involved, and they're trying to put the big evil guy into the baby, but then they take the pink goo and put it on the Statue of Liberty, remember? And the
I
Statue
do
of
remember
Liberty
that.
is what,
That's,
and
I
I
don't.
think that to me, all of the bits of it put it up to S tier, but if you're saying B, I'm okay with
I'm
it
saying.
being A tier.
Yeah, but the thing is, so like
Huh?
I remember a lot in the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
All right, you can remember a lot from that. Ghostbusters 2, you just reminded me that they got like the whole like Statue of Liberty to come to life or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't remember that at all. I didn't
I'm gonna
remember that
put it
until you
in
said
A
it.
tier. Well, that's because I've watched it, I think, more times than the original. I actually kind of like it
Really,
a little
I
bit
like the
more than the
original more.
original.
Really? All right,
Yeah,
I'm fine with A. I'm fine with A.
I'm gonna put it in A because I don't think it should be held as good as the original. I don't think that
Yeah.
at all. But
Okay.
I also love it, and me personally, I'm like, oh, the nostalgia. Like when I watched it, I'm like, that is 100%
Dude, but
Halloween.
hold on. In the original Ghostbusters, isn't there like demon dogs and stuff? Or am I getting that mixed up with another Ghostbusters movie?
No, there's the demon dogs in the first
Yeah,
one.
the demon dogs, and then the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man comes to life.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, yeah,
Ghostbusters 1 was good. It was good. I'm
yeah.
not saying it's
I,
bad.
I was just making sure I wasn't thinking of a different Ghostbusters.
No, no, you were
But
good.
that one
So,
had like that had the dude who's in Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and
mm-hmm.
then Sigourney Weaver. Wait, yeah.
Yeah,
No, 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 no.
right?
What?
She's the one
That's her.
from
That's her
Alien.
real name, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's her name, right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, they their whole thing is like they both got possessed, and then they're
yeah.
just like doing all this weird stuff, and it's just like, okay, you got demon dogs, and you got Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is like the comedic effect as
It
like for
is
the
a very
ghost.
good. It is very good movie. Like it is S tier. That's the thing. The first one is S tier. We got
Yeah,
Hocus Pocus now, and for me, Hocus Pocus is S tier. But the real
really.
question is, well, cause I'm sorry, like it's a dumb movie, but it's also
Yeah.
like it's a fun one, dude. You
Hmm.
watch it, I don't think they have bad pacing at all. It always feels like you're sitting there and you're following it around. Nothing feels slow, dragged
Yeah.
down. Where I feel like there are moments in Ghostbusters, the first one, where it's
Hmm.
kind of like it kind of drags on a little.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I personally think Hocus Pocus should be ahead of Ghostbusters.
No, dude, I think Ghostbusters is better. It just in my opinion.
All right,
That's
then
that's me.
I'll just leave it there because I'll take. I'm in love with it. We've got The
Okay,
Nightmare
that's
Before
that's fine.
Christmas.
So here's my thing with Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't think it deserves S tier because I think I love the movie. I think it's overrated though, as because I think it's more of a Christmas movie than a Halloween movie. And hear me out on this
We're
one.
gonna go with we're gonna call this tier. We're gonna say this is uh fall movies because I don't consider it. Oh, my bad. I don't consider this even like a thing. What should I change the color to? Let's just do
Purple.
gray. Purple. Purple works for me. It's more lavender, but that's
So
okay. So we can put it
the
in
thing is
there. It's the in between
that's
between
fine. Yeah,
Halloween and Christmas.
yeah. Like the thing is, you can both perspectives of that movie. You could say it's a Halloween movie. You could say it's a Christmas movie. Because at first it starts off being Halloween, and then it kind of ends being Christmas. And that's the whole kind of like thing. Like you could say it's Halloween because it's like, oh yeah, Halloween characters, but like they're also trying to be Christmas. So like that's like it's Halloween giving up Halloween to be Christmas, but they can't let go of the Halloween stuff because that's who they are. That's what they're
Yeah.
naturally like. That's their beings. But then like you also got Santa Claus who he comes into the mix, and you're just like, okay, he's also helping the main heroes, and then you also spend a good amount of time like doing Christmas stuff.
And I
So
think
that's why I
this
think it's so.
comes down to the question, right? Is a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie purely based on when it's happening, right? Because Nightmare
Yeah,
Before Christmas is happening for Christmas. So it could be argued that it's just Halloween characters in Christmas, sort of
yeah,
like how people consider Die Hard a
a
Christmas
Christmas
movie
movie.
because of the
Yeah.
fact that it happens on Christmas. Where I'm like, me personally, I do not consider it a Christmas movie because it's an action like thing where they're even coming out with a
Yeah.
new Christmas movie that I want to see. It's got Hopper from what do you call it? Stranger Things. He plays
Oh, okay.
Santa, and it's called oh, I don't even know what it's called, but it's something like Brutal Night. It's something where like he is going around murdering these people that broke into this girl's home because the girl
Jeez.
like wishes Santa to come save them or whatever. He shows up and
Yeah.
it looks like it has gore in it. It looks like it
Mhm.
has like a lot of action and fighting, and
It's
I'm
like a
like, oh, I think it'll be fun. I don't know if it'll be good.
like the Winnie the Pooh movie.
What's the what?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Oh, was there
It's
like the
Killer
some
Winnie
live
Pooh.
action? Yeah,
Yeah.
cause Winnie the Pooh hit Creative Commons, right? So
Yeah.
anybody can use it. Yeah.
Yep.
We've got the girl redo of Ghostbusters, and I don't know where to put that. I've never seen it. I
I'm gonna
think it should
say
be F.
yeah.
Have you
It's
seen
not
it?
good. Yeah, it's not good.
I think
I don't like it. It just seems like it's kind of like how the new Star Wars is, where they're just trying to take the essence of the original and like make it new, but it just doesn't work.
and I
You're just
think
kind of like, ugh.
I think because of that reason, we should hold it to a higher tier. Like not higher
Yeah.
tier on the tier list, but more like we should keep it at a higher level. That like, if you're gonna remake a movie or reboot it,
Yep.
you should do a good job of it, right? Like,
Yeah. Yep.
so I
Which
think that tears it
nowadays
down
it's
more.
not like that. Yeah. Exactly. If now here's the thing. If it was in the Ghostbusters world and it wasn't just called Ghostbusters and they did something new, it's just like okay, like you don't have like you still have expectations because it's in that world,
Yeah,
but like it doesn't. It's not Ghostbusters. They're not trying to like make a new Ghostbusters. It's just like
like
oh, it's in the same world. We're creating our own story, but it's in the universe of Ghostbusters, so like you can have references and stuff.
yeah,
This just tries to replace the old Ghostbusters.
and
So it's just like
I think that's to be like what's to be said is you're more accepting of a bad sequel than you are of a bad remake,
yeah.
and I think
So
that that's okay.
I'd put that there.
Okay,
I
we got
Coraline.
Coraline is S tier,
Coraline,
or
yeah, I love Coraline. It's so good. I don't really see anything really bad about the movie. And it's just super creepy, but in like a really good way. Like the main villain is just really weird.
I do like it. I'm gonna put it below Hocus Pocus, just because I
That's fine.
think fun factor wise, Coraline is very good, but I feel like it's
Yeah,
not as much fun and
it's more
like
of a serious movie.
yeah,
Like
it's
it's
more
not
like
like
creepy.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think there's something good to
Uh,
be said. You got Corpse Bride, which I think is not. It's good, but I don't think it's as good as
B or
Coraline.
A.
I think I'm
The
gonna put
music
it.
slaps in that
I'm gonna
movie.
put it in A because I think it is very very good. What do
Yeah,
you think about Frank and Weenie? Because for me, that's like actually C tier.
I was gonna say C or B
Yeah, it's just
because like there's some fun moments, but like I don't know. It's just like there's some other movies that just do it so much better.
yeah, yeah. What about?
Paranorman
I have not seen Paranorman, so this is all you.
B.
B
I'm
tier.
putting it in B
Okay.
because it's not bad. It's a really fun movie. It's just very forgettable sometimes because like when you think of like stop motion movies, you think Coraline, you think uh great Nightmare Before Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
even Corpse Bride, and then like Paranorman and Frankenweenie are kind of like the last ones you kind of pick.
Yeah.
Not like you don't go, oh yo, let's watch Paranorman. You go, yo, let's
No.
watch Coraline.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. When you're going to pick something out of the movie rack,
Yeah,
you're
and it's like
not.
it's not bad. It's really good. It's really good. I think it's slept on. Not gonna lie, but there's a reason why things get slept on. It's just some things
Yeah.
just do it better.
Okay. We got Haunted Mansion. So for me, I think like I don't know whether to put it in B or C, but it is not A tier. It has
No,
so
it's not
much
A tier.
corniness. Like
Yeah, I'd say B because I still watch it here and there. It's still a fun movie.
I'm gonna put it above Paranorman. Is that? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it's more memorable
Okay. Yeah. We
than
can. Yeah.
Paranorman.
Yeah. We've got Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
I think
D.
Goosebumps D.
I love Jack Black, but it's just it's I don't
I'm
know.
gonna put it
CGI is bad.
C tier just because
C
I would put it in
below
B.
Frankenweenie.
Below
Oh
Frankenweenie? I'd rather
yeah,
watch it than
I would watch.
Frankenweenie.
Really,
Yeah,
my whole thing is
I feel
just
like
like
it's
I
more
love Jack
fun.
Black. I love Jack Black, but like I just don't like compared to the show Goosebumps. It just doesn't do it
Well,
justice.
so think about it this way. Look at it from a different perspective, right? Like, oh, it like think of it as different from the show, right? Because
Okay,
it's not the show. The whole idea with Goosebumps, right, was that Jack Black is the writer, and like things come to life when he writes it. So it's
so it's
still in the
more
same
like
thing. It's
okay,
like it's an offshoot.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Where it's just like oh, like this is a brand new kind of story. Like the Goosebumps show
Exactly. Yeah.
doesn't matter, has nothing to do with it.
Well, the
Like
only thing
this
that
is
matters with Goosebumps, the show, would be that the idea of it is that it exists in that universe, the Ghostbumps show.
yeah, but yeah, I get you.
Or Ghostbumps? I said Ghostbumps, dude.
I didn't even notice. I'm not gonna lie. Goosebumps 2,
Yeah, what do you think about that? I
what
haven't
that is?
seen it.
I would also put that one in C because I personally like that one more than the original.
Then I will more
I
than
thought they got a little
Frankenweenie.
creative. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I'll
put it
just
right
put it
next
at
to
the
each other
very top.
because I watched the second one. I liked the second one. The first one did. I was just like, eh.
Okay.
Which normally the first one you go, yeah, I like that one. The second one's like, eh.
Okay, we've got the Adams Family,
I
which
personally love the Adams
I
Family, but I
think
don't
it's
think it's S.
I'll agree and put it up at A tier, but only if we can put Family Values higher than it. I like
What
Family
is Family
Values.
Values?
That's the one where they have a kid.
Oh, that one. Oh, the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the first one that much. I remember the second one more.
Would you say it would be better or worse than Ghostbusters 2, the first one?
I would put it behind, in front of Corpse Bride,
Yeah.
but between the two. Yeah.
Okay, so then Family Values I think is better than the second Ghostbusters. I'm gonna be honest.
The second one, they have a kid, and don't they have to get their uncle back? Something like that.
Ye-
Their
I
uncle went
th-
missing,
I
and then
think
the nanny is like evil.
I thought that was that in the first one? I thought that was the first one.
I thought the second one had the kids get all jealous over the kid, the new baby, and the
Yeah.
nanny's there. The nanny's trying to take care of him and try to steal all their money.
I
That's what
don't
I
know,
thought.
dude. I think they blended together. I don't know. I'm just gonna put it there though. I
True.
think it is A tier. I don't think it's. I don't think they're necessarily S tier. Like as far as
Yeah.
movies you have to watch, I think everything in S and A tier are like those are movies that you have to watch.
You have to, or you at least should
Yeah.
for A.
This is the animated Adams Family. I haven't seen it.
I have not seen it. I was like, oh, they're so ugly. They're all just so
Oops.
gross.
What the heck? I'm gonna add a row below, and I'm just gonna make this gray. And my bad. I'm gonna make this
Not
one
seen.
gray and say like
Haven't watched.
I haven't watched will sound better, yeah. Because neither of us have watched it, so like, what's the point?
No, I just thought they were so ugly. I didn't want to watch it. The
Yeah,
designs are just so ugly.
Casper. I think Casper is definitely A or S tier.
A or I'd go with A
A. I'm gonna put
because
it
I think
above uh all of them, just because I think it's one of those ones where it does have a lot of nostalgia, but it is still a really good movie, really fun. You got the three ghost like brothers or whatever they are, right?
yeah. I think the thing is, in my high school, Casper was like a joke everyone would say when like people were being stupid. They'd be like, "Dude, Casper said it, not me," and I
Oh,
just
that's
kind of
dumb.
just hated Casper.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was just like, "Oh, it's so cringy now."
Yeah,
But
but I
it's
do
not
like
a
it.
bad movie.
You've got that whole like potion thing that they're
Yeah,
trying to get, and like then they can bring people back from being a ghost. Like it's just I think it
It's a
was
fun
just
movie.
very good, very fun.
Yeah.
Definitely something you need to watch. You've got Monster House. I think that is
Okay.
B
Uh,
tier,
I, I was gonna say S tier.
S
I
tier.
think Monster House is super fun. The story's really good, and the meaning of it's really good too.
The only reason I don't, because I feel like there's a lot of nostalgia behind it. It is pretty fun, but when I think of movies you have to watch, Monster House I don't really think goes into it. But if you're saying
Yeah,
A tier, I'll be willing to put it either very end of A tier or very beginning of B. It's up to
very
you.
beginning of B. I think it could just be because I used to watch it all the time because I thought it was really fun, and the house coming to life was really cool to me. But also, not a lot of people have the same taste as I do.
I
Like
think
I,
the animation is like not that you should be judging things based on like their animation, but I do feel like the animation is kind of stylized to the point where it's a little bit
yeah,
awkward looking. And
yeah,
then
which I get that.
it's a fun movie. It is. It's funny at times, but it also feels very much like purely kid movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. This next one,
Yeah.
I love this movie.
I like
I can
Hotel
watch it over and over
Transylvania.
again.
Yeah.
I think the I think it's
How about
Adam Sandler's best movies. I'm gonna say that now
how
because I
about
can actually
Back
enjoy.
of A?
That sounds good. I like because when I see Halloween and like Halloween's coming, I'll watch that movie. I love it. I
Yeah.
think Adam Sandler as the Dracula is super funny, and I think the whole cast is really funny, and all the characters mesh very well together.
Oh yeah, I do think it is a good movie because I watched it and I was pleasantly surprised. I
Yeah,
went into it
that's how I
thinking,
felt.
oh, it's a kids movie, and then I watched them like, oh, this is actually like pretty funny, really good. They weren't like too over the top with their jokes. It wasn't too
Yeah,
kid oriented, like, and that's what I think is really good is when something animated like that could be enjoyed by the kids, but also the parents that have to be there. Hotel Transylvania 2. Do we just want to put the other ones in B tier? Because I mean, I haven't seen
hold
them.
on. It's I'd say Hotel Transylvania 2 and B,
Okay.
and then the third one
Wait,
I don't
where
know if
in
there's
B?
four or three. I say in the middle somewhere. Actually, no,
Bef-
put it at the end because like Paranorman. I'd probably watch Paranorman before Hotel Transylvania
okay.
2. But I don't know how many there are. I thought there
I
was
cannot read
four.
what this one is,
Yeah, that's why I gotta search it up right now
so I'm not
because
sure. What about the? It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That is S tier, man. It's
Hotel
short.
Transylvania.
It's not like a whole movie. It's nostalgic. It's wholesome. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna put it
Okay,
above Coraline personally.
really? I don't. I would put it under in my
I'll
opinion.
put it under. How about that? I'll put that under, but it has to
No,
be an S tier. That's what I'll say.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine because it's a classic.
It's a
One,
classic, dude.
huge classic. But I think I would prefer Coraline over Charlie Brown.
I think it depends on the vibe you're going for, right? Like you've
Yeah,
got like it's a great pumpkin. Charlie Brown kind of feels like if you had a like Halloween party and it had like kids, it was more laid back. It
yeah.
wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
a party
Wasn't like a
party
yeah. I get what you're saying.
where I
The
think yeah.
third one for Hotel Transylvania, I put in C.
See,
Yeah,
above
because
Frank
like
and
it just
Weenie, behind Frank and Weenie.
behind freaking Weenie.
Okay.
Because like it's not bad, but like you kind of just like okay, Hotel Transylvania, you ran your course type of thing.
Oh
Because the
yeah.
fourth one they made is F, 100%. It is not good.
I don't even know if that's on here. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's not even on there. It's just not. It's not a good one. Doesn't even worth the rating.
We've got Toy Story. I haven't
Never
watched
watched it.
it, so we can just stick that there.
Yeah,
Practical Magic. Have you seen that?
never seen it.
Okay, this is gonna be a short list.
I'm more of like
Beetlejuice.
a Beetlejuice. I
That's S
love
tier,
Beetlejuice. It's
dude.
really good.
I
But that's
think
yeah,
it's personally better than Hocus Pocus. I
yeah. I agree. It's a
I
lot more.
think
It's
it's
funnier and
better
it's
than
a lot.
Ghostbusters. How about that?
Yeah, I gotta agree with that one.
Okay,
Dude, Beetlejuice is just it's
it's
super
so
fun.
good.
It's weird. Like I feel like everyone has heard of Beetlejuice and has one scene that sticks with them.
It's so
That like
iconic and just like
yeah,
amazing because
like
it is
everyone loves the shrunken head joke.
the pinnacle of Halloween. Like I can't
Yeah,
imagine any of the other movies that really match Beetlejuice's Halloween energy.
yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Okay, Edward Scissorhands, I want to put in the fall movie. It's like I watched it
Really?
and its setting happens towards Christmas at one point, but then it also kind of goes through like a couple months or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like,
See, I was gonna put that in like C, maybe even like, nah, C for sure. That's where I would put it.
well, but that's because what I think when we look at it and analyze it, thinking, oh, it's a Halloween movie, we're putting it in C, even though it's an amazing movie. But we're putting it in C because it doesn't compare Halloween wise. If we look at it just as a movie for the fall,
Yeah.
that's why I think it should belong there because it has both aspects. It still
Okay.
has some Christmas in it because that's like the idea of it that there's a present,
Oh yeah,
there's
because he makes it like snow or something at one point.
exactly, and that's the point is that like it's Christmas time, so it's snowing. It's just it hits that same thing. It's Tim Burton, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
What is this one? Heads will roll. Oh, is this Sleepy Hollow? It looks like Sleepy Hollow.
It's hard for me to see it.
It's got Johnny. Yeah, it's hard for me to see it, so it's even harder for you. But I think it's
I don't think I've ever seen it.
okay. Okay, what I will say is that it is definitely B.
B tier.
I'm gonna
I'm
say
gonna I'm gonna trust your word on this one, boy.
I'm gonna put it
Oh
because
wait, Sleepy Hollow? Is that what
yeah,
you said? Dude,
yeah.
I've actually recently watched that. I gotta agree, it's in B. It's actually it's good.
I
But
don't
like,
think it's something that's
I
like a pinnacle of Halloween, but I
yeah,
do think that it's a very good movie, very fun.
yeah, it is very fun. I agree.
We got Shaun of the Dead, which I feel like is definitely going to be in B. It's fun,
Really?
it's good. It's just when I think of Halloween, right, and movies to
Hmm.
watch, it doesn't even register. Like it doesn't even hit my radar.
Dude, I love Shaun of the Dead. It's like, it's one of the what the director made Hot Fuzz,
Yeah,
Shaun of the Dead, and The World's End or something.
at
I
World's
love
End, yeah. Those are great.
I
They're
love
all
all
really good
three.
movies. Yeah.
They're very like if they you always catch something new in each of those movies. That's how like especially Shaun of the Dead. Like there's
I'll
so many
I'll
things that
put
you
it up
notice.
in A. Excuse me. I'll put it up in A.
I
But
personally just love that movie.
I'll
Like I can
put
watch
it
that over and over again.
I'm gonna put it above Hotel Transylvania
That makes sense.
and The Corpse Bride.
What's The Craft? I've never even heard of that.
I've never seen it, so it's going in I never watched. There's Scream. I've never
Scream,
seen Scream, so it's all you.
Scream's really good, and it kind of like boomed when it first came out. It was like everyone was obsessed with Scream. Like it was really good. The villains are really cool, and you kind of like hear their story, and it's like okay, like you kind of feel bad for one, and the other you're just like, ugh, you just kind of messed up, dude. But
I
I think it catches that classic like slasher like Halloween movie.
so where would you put it?
Like I would put it at like uh near the top of A
Near the
or
top of A?
in front. Yeah, because like everyone knows that signature mask of Scream. Like
I'll put it
it,
like in third place at A. I've never
that
seen it,
sounds
so I
good to me.
can't really say anything on it, but it's still high up. Because
Yeah,
I bet you anything it is better than, like, it's definitely better than Hotel Transylvania.
yeah.
All those other movies. Scream 2, all you again. I don't watch the spooky ones.
knock that sucker to B.
The B,
Yeah,
um, I'll put it,
middle B. Yeah, above. Yeah,
yeah,
right there.
above or below Monster House. What would you do?
Above Monster House. But that's my personal
That's fine. Like, I don't have
opinion
any
on it, just
opinion,
because I
because,
prefer like the more like slasher movies.
okay, we've got Halloween, which I also have never seen. Like, all the next three
I'm
I
gonna
haven't seen.
I'm gonna put that in S, just
S?
because they're still making these movies, and a lot of them are actually still really good. So
Isn't the
it's a good
latest one
slasher.
that came out the one that ends everything?
Yeah, it ends everything. They finally put the sucker. This movie right here, F tier. This movie is dog
Paranormal
shit.
Activity.
It is poopy trash. It
All
is
it
so
is
bad.
suspense, right? Like the
Yeah,
first
and they
one.
just constantly try to jump scare you, and that's it. Because it's just a ghost being an asshole.
I thought it was a demon.
Demon, ghost, whatever. It's
Cause
just being an
so
asshole.
I have watched the like those YouTube channels that just have all the clips from the horror movies, so you can watch
Yeah,
them without getting scared. That's where I've seen all these different scenes from
dude,
it.
it's so bad. It's
Yeah,
so trash.
it did not seem
Like,
good, and it's all
and
just
then they
like
made like eight
anxiety
more
inducing.
movies,
Well, the
and you're
other
just like,
movies
they get worse and worse.
don't isn't The Conjuring in the same place, like the same universe as Paranormal Activity?
No, that's Insidious. I
Okay,
think. I think Insidious and The Conjuring are like in the same world.
because I know
Paranormal
there's
Activity
a
has their
ton of
own,
stuff. Well,
I think.
does Paranormal Activity have the woman in black or whatever her name is?
No, 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 no. It does it. It has. It's you don't even see the ghost. You just see people get possessed, and then the movie ends when somebody gets possessed because they kill
Well,
someone and they get shot by cops.
I'm just more like thinking the Paranormal Activity like timeline. Doesn't it have that one woman in black or whatever?
I don't
That's
think
like
so. I think that's like the nun, right?
I th- well, that's the other
I
thing,
think
right?
that's.
There's the Nun, and that's in the same universe as all these other movies too.
I think it's Annabelle, Insidious, and the nun are all in the same world,
That means
and
The
then Paranormal
Conjuring then,
Activity.
because The Conjuring is also in that. Because I think in The Conjuring that's where
Is it?
Annabelle came from.
Yeah. Okay. I think Paranormal Activity is just its own thing. That
Okay,
like nobody really messes with it. I'm pretty sure.
you could always look it up. We'll look it up in a little bit. We
I'll look it
got
up right now.
no, not right now, man. We'll give it a second.
Fine. It's gonna bother me.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist,
I've never seen
super
it.
good. Practical effects, amazing. They got like a person, their face melt.
Okay,
I'd put it top of A.
top of it.
Yeah, because dude, there's some crazy stuff. Like scary movie, like makes fun, makes
Yeah, the
jokes in that
whole
movie all
like
the time. Like the
we're
clown doll
here.
in the second movie. Yeah. Uh,
Young
it's super good.
Frankenstein.
Never seen it.
Okay, I'll put it at the top of B because you've never
Okay.
seen it. But I will say, I think it should be an A. It is a comedy. It's got he played Willy Wonka, so I don't remember like
Oh, okay, okay.
Gene
I
Wilder.
know
That's
what
his
you're talking
name.
about.
So Gene
Yeah.
Wilder, he is like comedic genius, right? He's great. I
Yeah,
loved
he was
him
like
in
in
Blazing Saddles. I loved him in Charlie and the
there.
Chocolate Factory.
There was another movie I watched where he was deaf and some other guy was blind, and they would work together as like a detective, and it was just a huge comedy. So
But
I do
it's
like the
very
actor a
good.
lot.
He so the idea is he plays young Frankenstein because
Okay,
uh what people assume is Frankenstein it's actually
it's actually the
Frankenstein's
scientist.
monster.
Yeah.
But that's the thing where he's then creating the monster. And the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yeah.
He plays Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, okay. That's
It
pretty
is
sick.
so good. And there's one moment, right, that's very memorable. Me and my cousin will quote it from time to time. But have you heard the song where it's like, when you're blue and you don't know where to go, why don't you go where Harlem sits? Putting on the Ritz. Never
I
seen
don't
it?
know that.
It's it's
No.
it's an older-ish song, and
I love the singing though.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
But the best part is that like young Frankenstein ends up teaching the Frankenstein's monster how to do that, right? But Frankenstein's monster
Oh,
ends up
okay.
saying like, "Put on the Ritz," and then he like stomps. It's so good because he's saying putting on the Ritz, but like he can't
Yeah.
really speak that well, so it's just so good.
Dude, you know what I'm upset about right now that they don't have in this list? You ever seen Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman?
Oh yeah, but that's
Dude,
B tier.
what? No
Yeah,
way, dude. No way.
that's
That
that's
movie is like bottom S or top of A, dude. It is so good. I like
Uh,
they add. Hear me out. Hear me out. All right. They
yeah.
got all the classic monsters, obviously revamped in this movie. The CGI is a little like goofy. The story's a little goofy, but dude, it's such a good movie when you look back at it. All right. You got Van Helsing. All right. The
Yeah.
Monster Hunter. Hugh Jackman plays it perfectly. He's epic, and
Hugh
he's got all
Jackman
this
is
like
great. I do like
he
Hugh
is.
Jackman.
He's got like a cool crossbow. You're like, oh, that's epic. And then you also got Dracula, who also is like, nah, look at me, I'm Dracula, like blah blah blah.
Uh,
But then he transforms, and this is like the revamped Dracula, where he's got like wings and he's just this monster.
yeah.
Then you got your classic werewolf. All right, everyone loves werewolves. Everyone werewolves are cool. And then the main character becomes a werewolf and fights Dracula.
Yeah.
That's sick. And
Yeah.
then you also got Frankenstein that pops up in the movie, who's like, I just want to be a good guy and like help people. And then he sacrifices himself for Van Helsing, and they defeat every. Oh, it's so good. They got all the classic monsters.
I think it's good.
So
I
good.
personally I see it as B tier just because for
Damn.
me it's not one of those ones that I have to watch every Halloween to enjoy my
Dude,
Halloween.
it's so good, man. I love watching it. It's such a good movie. It's goofy, and you got some really cool action scenes, and you're just like, ah,
One
this
of
is
the
epic.
things that they didn't include in that list either is Halloween Town High. So
Never even heard of that.
it is. I think it might be the third one in the series, but the whole idea is that, uh, like Halloween Town, there's like this barrier between Halloween Town, which is the place that witches and all these other creatures come from, and the
Yep.
the human world. So since there's this barrier, it opens up once every year, like on Halloween. And
Okay.
so that's the idea that then this one girl,
Oh, and
she
that's why
finds
people
out
dress up
she's a
and stuff.
witch. I don't know. What We Do in the Shadows is a great movie. I still think I think that's really low A, probably high B. I mean, just
Isn't that
the
the one?
movie. I haven't seen the show.
I'm not 100% sure. I think I've heard of it, but isn't that like the dude who created Thor Ragnarok? Like, isn't he like one of the
Uh,
vampires? He created Jojo Rabbit.
I want to say yes. He plays in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
he's.
do like him a lot. He's so funny. And there's
I think
this
he's
one
funny.
interaction where have you seen Yes Man?
Isn't that with Jim Carrey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know his like office mate that has that one Harry Potter party?
Yeah.
Yeah, that person, that actor plays a werewolf in the movie of What We Do in the
Oh.
Shadows, and it is just very very
It's
good.
like a comedy, right?
It is, yeah. It's a comedy that's following these vampires. It's like a documentary kind of thing, and it's
Okay. And like
seeing
one of
what they
them's like
do.
your like Nosferatu
Oh, because he's old, yeah.
vampire.
So the
Yeah, and then
idea
you
is
got
they're
like
really
the
old.
younger, newer vampire.
Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure the old one just dies. Like, straight up dies. Like, somebody accidentally left the window open in the basement where the coffin is, and it just, like, sets him on fire and shit. The people come running down and they're like, oh, who forgot to close it? And it was just, like, this whole thing. So funny, because it feels like one of those roommate comedies,
Yeah.
but with vampires. And that's what I think is a very good
Okay. I'll have
charm
to check
about it.
that. I haven't seen that, but I've heard a lot of good things about the show.
I think it might be on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I got
I
that. So I'll
think
probably watch it at some point.
either that or I just rented it one year because there was this my cousin came over and he had never seen What We Do in the Shadows or Edward Scissorhands, so we had a back to
Oh,
back movie viewing night and we
I
just
love
watched
that.
both of them.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, right?
What?
You've seen Goosebumps the show, any of the episodes?
Goosebumps legitimately when I was a kid gave me nightmares.
Oh
So
my
I
god, this
never really
guy.
watched it. Yeah, I know,
Dude,
dude.
you're just such an
Such a
asshole.
wimp. And it's not even me,
Like,
right? I'd watch it and I'd be fine. But that night, I would have nightmares. And like I can't subject myself to just having nightmares. Just, okay, yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing tonight, you know? Sleeping like shit.
so I was gonna ask what one's your favorite episode, but I guess it don't matter now.
I could tell you
You,
what my favorite book was.
okay, that
I
works.
read
I'll
I
tell you
read
my
the
favorite
books.
episode.
Um, I think one of my favorite books, it was like the Choose Your Own Adventure book, but it was like
Oh, okay.
I think it was with a carnival, and
Oh, like the Monster Carnival and
I
everyone's monsters,
yeah, and
and
I think
everyone's
there
like,
was
"Oh,
like
nice mask."
yeah, and then there was like this
Yeah.
one joke where the guy's like just ahead, because you're like going through it and you end up becoming just ahead, and it's like, why don't we quit while you're ahead? And I'm like, I don't know, but I loved that little like, it's just dumb.
See, I didn't read a lot of the books, but I did watch a lot of the episodes. My favorite one is the killer gnomes or whatever,
Killer gnomes,
and yeah, there's just garden gnomes that would come to life at night, and if you saw them, they'd come after you.
huh?
And in the show, it's just two little people in like a gnome costume, and like you're like, wow, those are some big garden gnomes. Like
That's
normally they're like
funny.
this big,
Yeah.
but like they're
Oh, have you
the
heard of
size of a small
Leprechaun?
child. Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched all of them.
I
There's like Leprechaun in the Hood and stuff like that, and
I
Leprechaun in
one
space.
Halloween or around that time we were at like one of my friends' houses or whatever, and somebody was
Yeah,
watching that, so I watched like probably 10 minutes of it.
it's so goofy.
Terrified me, dude. Can't do it. I
Really?
really, yeah, because it's
Dude, it's so
still one of
goofy.
those things. Uh,
It's like one of them is like, you need a 4-leaf clover to get rid of them, and like they're like, yo, oh my god, a clover patch, and they're like looking around the clover patch for like a 4-leaf clover.
yeah.
Dude, it's such a goofy movie, and then they just keep having like they make more and more, and it just gets worse and worse, just like every like murder monster slasher movie. And I'm just like, ugh, like Jason, Nightmare on Elm Street, um, Scream,
Nightmare on Elm
Hellraiser.
Street gave me nightmares, but that was because why I don't
No,
know
that
why it is, but my dad would be watching like movies and stuff when I was young that I should not have
mhm.
seen, like Chucky. Fucking Chucky gave me nightmares, and I hate
Chucky
dolls
gave me
ever
nightmares.
since
Yeah,
it.
I agree with you on that one. That one would give me nightmares as a kid because uh when I watched that movie, I was also living at my grandma's, and she had dolls
Oh,
older than me and my
ooh.
mom in the room I would sleep in, and I'd be, they're all over, and I'd be so scared of these little dolls.
My friend, when I would go over to like, he would house sit for I think his aunt or somebody, and we would go there for like just because he'd be alone, whatever. And so we'd go there and we would drink, party, right? Just a small little party with like a board game and stuff. That's where I
Yeah,
played Quelf. But there was a
never heard
room.
of that.
Quelf is a great game. I think you'd like it. It's about embarrassing yourself, basically. I can tell you more about it later. But the whole thing was in this house, you had the kitchen, and then you had the little room, dining room area. And when you're in the
Yeah,
dining room, right next to it, right behind it, is this room that's supposed to be the living room, but it is filled. And when I say filled, I mean filled with these creepy dolls. And so I was like, nah, I'm never going in that room. I don't want to go in that room.
never ever again.
And it was like that's also where like you could sleep because the couch was in there. So I was like, I'm not sleeping in that fucking room. I'll wake up dead. I'll have like
Dude,
15 stab
like
wounds from the creepy ass
Nightmare on
dolls.
Elm Street though, dude,
Yeah.
it was just as scary as Chucky because like the whole premise is just like, oh, you if you sleep, you die, and it's just like that is terrifying because like when that's a human's weakest point
Oh
is
yeah.
when they're sleeping because you're just out snoozing for a bruising pretty much. Like
Snoozing
if
for a
somebody
bruise.
like there's a reason why like people say don't fall asleep at parties because people just draw on your face. Now imagine you're sleeping and someone breaks in. Imagine
Yeah.
what they could do.
So I will say, what I appreciate in horror movies is when it actually makes you afraid of like something, right? And it
Yeah,
isn't just like, oh, it spooked me, there was jump scares. It's more like,
yeah.
no, it's instilling fear
Man,
of that
now I'm
thing.
afraid to turn off the light.
Exactly. And I think that's a good horror movie. So you've got
Yeah,
they did a good job with that because Nightmare on Elm Street had rules, right?
Yeah.
They had these guidelines of, oh, he can only attack you and kill you in your dreams. Like, that is
Yep.
the baseline thing. And then they get further into it where they're like, later on, you have these, like, I liked the concept of it. Didn't watch the movie because it's a scary movie. I'm not going to watch it. But the idea was that after like 72 hours, you start to like micro dream when you're awake.
Yep.
So the kids were staying awake, and then there's that one scene where the person is in this like hallway of a store or whatever, and then Jason just keeps like flashing in, or not Jason,
Yeah.
Freddy keeps flashing in because he's like micro dream, and I'm like, I like that concept because it's following the rules. It's not just throwing them out.
Yeah.
Like, what would you put for the ranking list? It
For
follows.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
It follows.
Oh, It Follows.
Yeah.
It Follows. I thought it was a really good movie. It was spooky and it made you kind of like afraid to like you always check behind you and stuff,
It's F
making sure you
tier.
weren't getting followed. I'd put it like mid A.
F tier.
Really?
Do you want to know why?
Putting that in F tier because I thought it was a fun and scary movie. Like the thing is, it doesn't scare you in the movie. It just kind of makes you like just scared of being like just constantly looking around.
It is
Just
a
gives you that, like, fear of being
paranormal
followed.
STD.
Yeah.
It is the dumbest thing I've heard. It's
Hey man.
no
you
no
gotta
no no
get
no
creative
no
with-
no 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 no. Like, if you wanted to make it, it would have been so much better if they went the Weeping Angel route, right? I
when you
want
look at-
It
when you look at
follows.
it?
Yeah, where it's more like you're driving a car, you look over to your thing, and there's just somebody standing there staring at you, and as you drive by, they're just sitting there staring. They're not walking, they're not running. Because I think it'd be so much better if, when you're just doing normal everyday stuff, you just see somebody out in the distance just staring, and then every time you look, it gets closer.
I don't know. I thought it was cool that like only the person who's being hunted in the time could see it.
I like
So
that
like
rule.
you got all your friends that are like this. They're like, yeah, we're shooting the shit. Look at us, ha ha. And then like that person being followed, like, yo, who's that old woman? And they're like, what are you fucking talking about? And then it's just walking at you.
So that's another issue I have with it, right? Is that, like, I like the concept of it. You can only see it if you're infected with it, but it's a physical being because they
Yeah.
put a sheet on it. So it's physical, but it still somehow can get through like certain locked doors and other things like that. Like throughout the movie, it just appears in different places. So what's the travel method? Is it actually constantly just walking, or
Yeah,
is
it's just constantly walking. So if you took a plane, it's just following you.
Yeah.
Slowly.
but it's not, right? Because that's the thing, that you could drive really far away, and it might still be like technically like, oh, it's following you, but like what was communicated through the movie was that you'd just be walking somewhere and you'd see it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay,
Well-
but how did it get there?
I think the whole thing is that so the thing is, you could trap it. So like you could trap it in a house, but since it lives forever, eventually it will break through. But to stop it, if you put it in like a certain box or like a titanium box, it will never be out. So like I kind of I thought it was interesting and a new take on a monster.
I
thought it was
think
fun.
I think it's dumb because of the fact that it could be trapped, and it would just be trapped forever.
But see, like another thing that like kind of makes us like you're just like, oh my god, is like nobody else really sees it. Yeah, there's the physical thing, but to most people, you're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, dude, you're crazy. I don't even want to hear it. Like, oh, that person over there, would be like, oh, nobody's even over there, and they won't even take you serious until it's too late. Type of
My
thing.
thing
Like if it
is,
was real.
it could be, the reason why I think it's a bad movie is because of how much better it could have been made. Like I was saying before, where if
I
it's just
agree. I think
looking
it
at
could've been
you,
better.
let's say you got this view of like you're walking past your kitchen window, and there's just somebody standing out there, staring at you, and it's like maybe they're right up against it's just a face in the window. Jump scare, yeah, sure, whatever. It's kind of cheap, but at the same time, it just sits there, and the person,
Yeah.
you could sit there and be like scared by it, and it's following you, and then you see it, but no matter what you do, no matter how close to you, it just stares right at you. Like that to me super creepy because of the fact that like what makes us scared and the reason why there's like a psychology behind these creepy images of like a really big smiling face, right? Like that's kind of
Yeah,
creepy.
because
And
it's not proportionate, but like it's just spooky weird.
well, it's partly evolutionary too because we're trained to like when we see something like baring its teeth, right? Evolutionarily,
Yeah, like a dog, like a
it's a show, it's a sign of aggression, right? But when we
yeah.
smile, it's a sign of like happiness and
So it's
all
like
this
a
stuff.
mixture of that.
It's because our brain cannot figure out whether it's friendly.
It's friend or foe.
Exactly. And that's what I think is like good where when you see these shows or movies where there's like a creepy thing, like you're walking down the hallway and then there's this creepy monster that comes by. It's like that's kind of like creepy. And then if it comes back and it starts chasing you, to me that's not fear to me. Like I
Yeah,
would rather have this moment of like it's not fight or flight. It's that moment in between where your body is locked up and doesn't know what to do. You see this creepy like person walk past the hallway and you just sit there frozen and nothing happens. It doesn't come back. It's not any more sounds. It's just that moment of you sitting there like I don't want to go forward, but I don't want to turn
yeah.
around because I don't know if it's going to come back. Like that I think is the perfect thing for horror movies and scary stuff. That's why I think It Follows kind of suffers because of the fact that you don't really have that fear that like thing like yeah you see somebody walking towards you but like it could be anybody it could be them but you could just hang out with your buddy if they know about it you say like hey you see that guy no okay that's it guys
Yeah.
keep an eye on it
But
it's
see, like
like
the thing is, another thing that's scary about it that I would find scary is that it never stops. So like you could run, do whatever, and it's never gonna stop just walking at you. And
no
like
but it only targets one person at a time right
yeah, it targets one person, and then after that
so
person dies, it goes to the next person,
hmm
and that.
So each person in that line has a reason to team up with each other, to start a
Yeah,
community where we know the one person it's chasing, and the rest of us all we can see it because we've had it, so we can see it happen because that's the thing.
yeah,
You just keep an eye out for it. That's it.
true.
It's the
But it can
easiest shit
shapeshift
ever.
into anything.
Sure, but like that's why you keep your buddy around who can't see it. And then
That is
that
true.
person, you just ask him, like, hey, we don't have very many visitors. Is that person walking into our compound good or bad? Oh, you can't see him? Okay, he's bad. Guys, we got him. See that thing? Yeah, that's us. And then somebody just keeps an eye on it at all times. That's my issue with it. It's that it's so easy to make it good that it's like, I can't forgive it for being
Well, yeah.
bad.
The thing is with the movie is that it starts off with them trying to figure it out, and then eventually they get to that point where oh, we know how to deal with this, and then they kind of deal with it.
I mean,
So it's like I think it's like the origins of this like the group of people just like well now we got to deal with this together. Like unless you guys are bad friends, you're just gonna leave me here to die to this thing.
well,
But and in the end, they
you've
all help
seen
each
it
other.
though, right? Where that one
Yeah,
scene, like it's chasing, trying to kill these people, right? And pretty
yeah.
much every single person it comes across, how quickly does it kill it? Does it take its time, or does it do it almost instantly?
It just snaps their neck.
Now, why when they're at the beach, why is this creature trying to drag her away? Huh? Why is it just
It's
like
true.
it's just grabbing her and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you back. I've killed everybody else really quickly, but you're special." It's like get the fuck
That
no
is
no no.
true.
Like the rules. That's my issue with the rules kind of thing is that I feel like it doesn't keep true to the rules of it, or it doesn't really
Yeah,
have super strict rules.
yeah.
Like vampires, stab them in the heart with a thing. There are some little variations of like, oh, it just paralyzes
Garlic.
them, or it does this, or some people are like, oh, it doesn't do anything unless it's a specific thing, and like I get
Yeah.
it, but there's still like those rules. Sun, oh, it
Okay.
can't go out in the sun. It gets hurt in the sun. Like it has these specific things, and there's ways of getting around it, and that's what I think
All
makes
right.
a good monster.
I agree. All right. Hear me out. Hear me out. What do you like more,
Mm-hmm.
Vampires or werewolves?
I think I like oh, wait, hold up. Before we get into this, another Halloween movie that I forgot about, which I think is like high B A tier, like in between low A, high B. Uh Teen Wolf. Like the one with
Oh,
the
the
kid
comedy
from
one?
the comedy one. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Dude from Back to the Future?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nobody calls me chicken.
And I think that would that's just like it's a great one. I totally forgot about it.
That one's fun. I
It's
like
really
that one.
fun.
That's fun. I like the show. I don't know if you ever watched the
I've
show.
never watched the show, no.
It
But
was
isn't that the
alright.
drama, like the teen
Yeah,
drama?
it was alright. Like it's better than like Disney shows, but like it's still got that like supernatural vibe where you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, sexy guy, sexy girl, kiss. Now he's werewolf.
I
Ooh.
think between vampires or werewolves, I'm more team vampire, and that's because of the fact that I feel like there's more kind of to it, like nuanced stuff where, hey, I'm a vampire, I'm living forever, I'm trying to
Yeah,
blend in with people. Where with a werewolf, it feels more like it's basically like, oh, I'm just trying to survive until this one day, and then I'm trying, or this one couple days, and then I'm trying to lock myself up. It's less of it's more like a creature thing and less of a humanity like mental thing. Where I think vampires, you have to wrestle with the fact of, do I drink blood from people? Do I do this? There's that hunger behind it. It's constant. It's not the same as like I'm just a dude who happens to turn into a beast once a month and like I don't even remember it usually. If I like as far as which one I like better, if I were to choose which one I'd want to be, I would probably want to be a werewolf. But that's just because I could do my every normal day thing, just keep track of the full moons, lock
yeah.
myself in a basement, and I'm good to go.
But see, here's the spooky part though. The part that could suck. The werewolf eventually or could eventually break out, and then now you got this on your hands because people are mysteriously dying like randomly, like there's been murder sprees, we can't find it. I think it's some sort of beast. Then you just gotta go like, damn, that was me. Like I woke up and I'm a bloody mess. Like
Yeah,
I'm a werewolf
true.
type of
Like,
thing.
but
Because like it's a raging beast. All right, like you can trap the thing for so long until like eventually just something bad
but
happens.
which
It's
one would you
inevitable.
rather be? Because I would rather
Oh, I'd
be
rather
a
be a
werewolf.
werewolf.
Yeah,
I like werewolves more. I think werewolves are like super cool, blah blah blah, like just
you just want to
aesthetically.
go party
But
with
also,
Bigfoot, dude.
dude, I'd love to party with Bigfoot. I'd love to party with Bigfoot, man.
Hey, your shirt is Team Bigfoot.
It is. It's See, I get a lot of like people like, "Yo, Team Bigfoot. Do you like hunt Bigfoot or something?" And I go, "No. My stepdad's name, well, his nickname is Bigfoot, and he got cancer." People go,
Oh.
"Oh, yeah."
Just like
And
that,
so,
yeah.
yeah, so Team Bigfoot is a shirt my mom made for try to get some like people pay for it and get money so we can afford the
Okay.
treatments. Yeah, I love it. It's a comfortable shirt, and also like he got through the cancer, and so like he has no more cancer anymore. So
Oh,
now I
he's
can
in
just go,
remission?
dude, Team Bigfoot, bro. Yeah, Team Bigfoot.
That's good. That's nice, dude. I was really
Yeah.
afraid it was gonna be darker, like, oh, he passed, and then I was like, what? What?
No. No. It was he beat cancer, so it's like,
That's
it's
good,
a nice
dude.
shirt.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you're Team Bigfoot, dude. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Just I am Team Bigfoot. Dude, I got some ideas for like emotes and stuff. Oh, it's
Okay.
so cool. I'll have to tell you at some point.
Alright, well, on that note, let's head it out, and we'll just kind of, like, chill.
Yeah, mama. It was good. I'm glad we did that tier list. It was fun.
I think it was good. It was really fun. I liked
I think
talking about all the movies and
yeah.
ranking them.
Yeah. I think if we ever do a tier list again, we should do like something we both know a little more. Maybe like D&D monsters or like
You think
uh
dude, your knowledge of D&D monsters is off the like It's crazy.
Okay. How about classes then?
Classes?
Yeah, like D&D classes, like wizard, paladin, monk.
I still like. I don't know, dude. I'm bad.
Dude, we'll have Darren show up. We'll have Darren show up for it.
Okay, if Darren's there, I think that could be really good.
That'd be fun. Dude, we could do it like, what, the next break we have. You know, like we get Monday.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I'll talk to him.
For a second, I was trying to think of what you meant by the next break. I'm like, what?
Like, we'll get Ethan up in there too.
Hopefully.
It'd be fun.
I think it'd be good. Well,
It'd be very good.
time to say goodbye. I hope everybody has a good day and a good week ahead of them.
Yeah, get some food up in you too. I know you're hungry.
I need to get food. Yeah, everybody grab some food. We'll see you all next week. Bye.